And welcome to the Patriot Show. I'm your host, Ted. What is going on? Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. I haven't made a video in a while, but I am back. It is election time, and let's roll. So we have Kamala Harris that is unelected and has been the vice president that has been, prior to being installed, not voted upon, installed into office, was basically being called one of the worst vice presidents in U.S. history. They were saying, "Oh, she's terrible," and now she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I love sliced bread. I love sourdough. Sourdough is amazing. So she is now the bee's knees, going on talking shows, making a complete ass of herself because she can't roll two thoughts together, and it's showing. And supposedly she's down 10% in the polls, 10 points. One can only be so grateful. But let's talk about what she's running on. She's running on feelings. She's running on hope and change, basically. She's basically running on Obama's message, hope and change. She's running on feelings. And she's running on, I'm gonna stand up for reproductive rights. When the Supreme Court voted on said abortion going back to the states in 2022, Associated Press, you can go look that up. I will put it in the description. 2022. So she had 2.5 years, 2+ years. They had 2.5 years to switch that. But she never did. She never did. Never did. So what makes you think she's going to have the power to do it now? If they really cared, they would have done it. If they really cared about the border, they would have fixed it. If they really cared about blah, 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 they would have fixed it. But they never did. She's running on, it's a different time. But then she is quoted saying she wouldn't change. Do you have anything that you would change? I can't really think of anything. Except for I came from a middle-class family. That's basically what she's running on. She came from a middle-class family. Now she wants to destroy the middle class by basically raising the taxes on billionaires and so on and so forth, where she got all of her funding from. And she's not going to, because why would she try to destroy her donors? Doesn't make really much sense. And it's disgusting that people fall for this over and over again. As far as everybody's like, oh, you're going to fall for what Trump says. I've already seen Trump as president. I grew up watching Trump. I know what I'm getting when I vote for Trump. I'm getting a billionaire playboy that had fun in the 80s, that had kids, that had businesses. Some fail, some don't. And I've already seen him as president. But it was a whirlwind that the deep state created the entire time he was in office. They wanted him impeached the second he got into office because he was not a part of the plan. You could go on the UN's website, the UN's charter, and look up Agenda 2030. Comparably to Agenda 21, which they wanted that so bad, but they did not get Hillary into power. And then they threw a proxy war into Russia over pipelines and them getting comfortable Germany. So they tried to split up a world superpower only to create an industrial revolution within Russia. And now they have the BRICS that is moving away from the petrodollar that basically built this country, and now we are drowning in debt from a virus that was supposedly released from somewhere. Not going to say, because I don't want any more strikes on my channel. YouTube loves to fire down the strikes because we live in a democracy. We live in a democracy. If you really cared about democracy, you would be like calling up, Kamala Harris was installed, not elected. So that throws your entire democracy out the window. It's fugazi. democracy. You don't have a democracy. You are voting for someone that was installed and then saying someone else is a threat to democracy. That's what the blue pilled are saying. That's what the armchair blue pilled people who pop their head up every 4 years when they actually have to participate have to say. And it's boring. Kamala Harris is a boring candidate. She's boring. And the people who go up there and start screaming off Trump's Hitler and so on and so forth, that's boring too. You are boring also because you are not willing to participate on a quasi full-time, part of our country and being actually red-pilled and realizing that we are in trouble. You just people just like to pop their heads up every 4 years, like gophers, like, oh, it's time to participate, and I have an opinion, but I have been watching football and fantasy football and gambling and blah blah blah, but then watching 20 hours of porn every day and playing 50 hours of video game a week. I have an opinion. It's bogus. It's exhausting. Why not pull your head out of the sand and participate? Instead of every 4 years pop up. And we end up with a person like Biden in the White House, a person like Kamala Harris, a person like Trump that's running for president. He's not perfect. We get two choices. We get two choices, and these are our two choices. It's basically red pill or blue pill. Is the steak, or do you want to wake up? It's gross that we live in such a huge country, but we only have two choices. But do we ever stop and think about why we only have two choices? Kamala, as I think I mentioned it, she raised $1 billion so far. $1 billion to basically run against someone that's saying, let's make America great again. Let's rethink what we're doing on a global scale. She raised $1 billion to basically pull up a bulldozer and say no. $1 billion to stop progression of the United States and run on feelings. And people are lining up and being like, oh, that's our person. That's our person. Trump is Satan. He's mean. But how do you think the almost 1 million plus people in the Ukraine that have died so far think about this? A war that's happening for no reason. A proxy war that's happening for no reason. Just, as I said, to destabilize Russia. How do you think Israel, Palestine, Syria, and Iran, and all those countries are feeling right now? Because all that the Kamala Harris White House is going to do is pump the gas. They're going to try to pump as many weapons into these wars as possible. Hell, they might even drag us in. That's their goal. And it's gross that we sit back here decadent in our apartments and houses, and we act like we actually give a rat's ass when we just pop up and be like, oh, well, I want to attack Russia that gives natural resources to China, that have China's makes our stuff so we can have a glass. This is probably made in China. We can have glasses. We can have mouses. Mouse, probably made in China. Here it is. I can't get it to the screen. But this, probably made in China. And Russia gives natural resources to China. And we have brought Russia and China closer because of this stupid proxy war that is supported by the Biden White House, that is going to be pushed by Kamala Harris, and they are getting their asses handed to them in the Ukraine. And they're just going to push this. But we're attacking the people who create our stuff. because they outsourced all the manufacturing to China and Japan back in the 80s and 70s. They deindustrialized the United States over there, and now we are attacking Russia that supplies natural resources to the country that provides us with everything. And then we are attacking the country that provides us everything. Said China. That now is being... It's just gross, people. And we have to be able to see through this. I'm going to wrap up this video. I don't want it to be too long. Everybody have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching Patriot Rooster Show. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe and feel free to share this video. Thank you. Bye.